Hamlet, Act 1, Scene 1. Who's there? Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself. Shakespeare's most famous play begins, and the psychological thrill of peering into darkness and the unknown, at the world around us and within the human soul. As Horatio describes it, harrows us with fear and wonder. We are horrified and wrapped in attention at what Shakespeare is presenting before our eyes. A king murdered by his brother for the crown, and his widow too hastily remarried and to the usurper, still the reigning queen. What guilt does she bear in her husband's crime? Who's there? Throughout the play, indeed. What is the ghost, and where has he come from? Is Hamlet insane or pretending to be? Lots of questions. But the play, like the music of Wagner's Tristan and Isolde, layers on continuously unresolved. Dr. Johnson said Shakespeare's mode of composition is the same, whether it be in comedy or tragedy, an interchange of seriousness and merriment, by which the mind is softened at one time and exhilarated at another. But whatever be his purpose, whether to gladden or depress, he never fails to attain his purpose. As he commands us, we laugh or mourn, or sit silent with quiet expectation, in tranquility without indifference. We watch this opening scene with the two sentinels on night duty, on edge over what has appeared previous nights. They have invited Horatio, a learned man, to witness the spectacle of an apparition in the same figure like the king that's dead. And when the ghost appears, they cry to him, "Thou art a scholar! Speak to it, Horatio!" This sentiment confers with the statement that knowledge is power. They see Horatio as liberated, freed from whatever binds them and makes them unable to speak. Dr. Johnson considers Horatio's speech to the ghost very elegant and noble. "If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done, that may to thee do ease and grace to me, speak to me. If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which happily foreknowing may avoid, O speak. Or if thou hast abhorred in thy life extorted treasure in the womb of earth, for which they say you spirits oft walk in death, speak of it, stay and speak." Horatio's generosity and kindness to the ghost reminds me of a speech in The Merchant of Venice. The quality of mercy, or in Horatio's case, kindness, is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. Yes, Horatio is a noble man. And Hamlet loves him well. In Act 3, Scene 2, Hamlet speaks to Horatio and describes him as a man that fortune's buffets and rewards hath taken with equal thanks, and blessed are those whose blood and judgment are so well commingled, that they are not a pipe for Fortune's finger to sound what stops she please. Give me that man that is not passion's slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core, I in my heart of heart, as I do thee. Yes, Horatio's got a cool head, and he's good to have when there is a ghost around. But the ghost does not speak to Horatio, and flees with the rising sun. Look, the morn in russet mantle clad walks o'er the dew of yon high eastern hill. Let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet, for upon my life this spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him. Horatio calls Hamlet young Hamlet because his father is old Hamlet. Both share the same name. However, they could not be more different. The ghost or old Hamlet is a fierce medieval warrior. He appears in armor and frowns as once, when in an angry parley, he smote the sledded Polacs on the ice. In life he was dared to the combat by Fortinbras of Norway, whom he did slay. His military prowess leads to the comparison of Julius Caesar. Horatio comments that a little ere the mightiest Julius fell, the grave stood tenantless, and the sheeted dead did squeak and gibber in the Roman streets, as stars with trains of fire and dews of blood. But what of young Hamlet? How should he be described? He's more of a coffee shop existentialist, and I see him in a black turtleneck. Yes, there's something very interesting between young and old Hamlet. And Horatio is right. To young Hamlet, the ghost will speak. Hamlet, Act 1.